It's not a mystery to me. The same thing that happened to my daughter is what happened to Whitney. There's only one person that was around both occasions.
You won't say his name. Nick Gordon is who you're referring to.
I won't say his name.
And then it's Grammy time.
That happened.
And her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobbi Kristina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know, she's dead.
Bobby Brown has made it clear. Something about his daughter, Bobbi Kristina's death, just doesn't sit right. And it's not just him. Many people believe the eerie similarities between Bobbi Kristina and Whitney Houston's deaths weren't a coincidence, but part of a bigger, more sinister plan. For years, Bobbi has suggested that Bobbi Kristina's ex, Nick Gordon, was involved in both tragedies. But what if Bobbi Kristina had uncovered the truth about her mother's death and was silenced before she could expose it?
I want the world to know that Bobbi Kristina did not die from the bathtub incident. That's not what killed Bobbi Kristina.
What killed Bobbi Kristina?
Bobbi Kristina was starved to death.
Do you approach that?
He knows what happened. I don't know what happened that night, but he does.
You walk through that door and you see her much like you saw Whitney.
It was literally, it was a nightmare all over again.
Bobbi Kristina grew up in the public eye, often seen by Whitney's side during interviews and award shows. But she wasn't just a spectator. She was there when the drama unfolded, witnessing firsthand the battles her mother fought, especially with powerful figures like Clive Davis. Reports suggest that just 2 days before Whitney's death, she had a heated argument with Clive, and Bobbi Kristina was present for at least some of it. And then, just like that, Whitney was gone. When Whitney died in 2012, Bobbi Kristina was devastated. She was hospitalized for an emotional breakdown and struggled to cope with the loss. But despite her pain, she tried to push forward, making TV appearances and speaking about continuing her mother's legacy. That dream was tragically cut short on January 31st, 2015, when she was found unconscious in a bathtub in her Georgia home, the exact same way her mother had died.
I saw Ray J coming out of the hotel, hiding his head, being pushed into the car. Why? I looked and I said, why is he hiding? Why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face when he's around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide now, Ray J? And I put it all together. When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag. Yes, I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up.
After months in a coma, Bobbi Kristina passed away on July 26, 2015. The official cause of death? A mix of drowning and intoxication, with drugs like morphine, alcohol, and anti-anxiety meds in her system. But just like with Whitney, the details surrounding her death raised far too many questions. How did she end up face down in the tub if she was too impaired to move? Was this truly an accident? Or was she taken out because she knew too much? Now, let's rewind to the night Whitney died. Official reports claimed she drowned, with drugs in her system. But there were glaring inconsistencies. The coroner suggested a heart attack may have caused her to pass out, but no evidence of a cardiac event was found. Even more suspicious? There wasn't enough water in her lungs to confirm she actually drowned, leading many to believe she was placed in the tub after she lost consciousness. And then there's Ray J. He was one of the last people seen with Whitney, but his story about that night kept changing. Initially, he claimed he wasn't there at the Beverly Hilton. Yet, multiple witnesses, including Brandy Norwood, his own sister, were reportedly looking for him at Clive Davis's party that night. If he wasn't there, why were people trying to find him? Leola Brown, Bobbi Brown's sister, has been outspoken about what she believes happened. She claims Whitney's body showed signs of being beaten before she was found in the tub. Yet, this was never seriously investigated. And then there's that mysterious note Whitney gave to Brandy hours before her death. While crashing an interview that Brandy, Monica, and Clive Davis were doing, Whitney slipped Brandy a handwritten note. To this day, Brandy refuses to reveal what it said. Some believe Whitney knew she was in danger and was leaving behind a message in case something happened to her. Fast forward to Bobbi Kristina's final days, and the similarities are downright chilling. Many believe she had started to put the pieces together about her mother's death. Jaguar Wright even claimed that Bobbi Kristina overheard conversations that she wasn't supposed to hear. And just when she was preparing to make a move, she was found unresponsive in a tub. Nick Gordon, the one person who was with Bobbi Kristina the night she was found, had been controlling and abusive, according to multiple reports. He isolated her from her family, and sources say she was finally planning to leave him and move to Los Angeles to be with her dad. The day she was found, she was supposed to meet up with a friend to discuss her escape plan. That meeting never happened. After Bobbi Kristina was placed in hospice, her court-appointed conservator filed a lawsuit against Nick, accusing him of domestic abuse, fraud, and wrongful death. The lawsuit alleged that on the night of the incident, Nick gave her a toxic cocktail that left her unconscious before placing her face down in the tub.
I want the world to know that Bobbi Kristina did not die from the bathtub incident. That's not what killed Bobbi Kristina.
What killed Bobbi Kristina?
Bobbi Kristina was starved to death.
Do you approach that?
He knows what happened. I don't know what happened that night, but he does.
You walk through that door and you see her much like you saw Whitney.
It was literally, it was a nightmare all over again.
Nick denied everything, even blaming Bobby Brown for Bobbi Kristina's struggles. But before he could ever truly face the consequences, he died of an overdose in 2020. Now, here's where things get even darker. Was Nick just a pawn in a much larger game? Think about it. Whitney mysteriously dies. Bobbi Kristina dies in the exact same way. Nick Gordon was there both times. Ray J's involvement remains shady. Clive Davis's name keeps surfacing. So, was Bobbi Kristina silenced because she knew who really killed Whitney? Was Nick Gordon acting alone, or was he working under orders? This is bigger than just a tragic coincidence, and we may never get the full truth. What do you think? Was Bobbi Kristina's death planned? Was Whitney's death more than just an accident? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more deep dives. Because trust me, this story is far from over.